Hey guys, Laura here from What Laura Likes. This is a call to action. I just found out that on Monday, the Senate is finally voting on HR 4712. Now, if you're like me, maybe you had no idea that this was even something that the Senate was considering, but that's why I'm making this video, because I want everybody who cares about children to call their senator, to email their senator. Let's flood the senators' offices of this country, letting them know that we want this bill passed. So what is it exactly? The title of this bill is the Born Alive Abortion Survivors Protection Act. Now, this was passed by the House back in early 2018. I have no idea why it's been stalled in the Senate for an entire year. But you know as well as I do that this is a time in history when this bill is very, very much needed. Our country has these two extremes right now in terms of abortion. You have lawmakers in Virginia who are trying to pass a bill that allows infanticide, that allows the killing of a child after birth. And you also have some states who are passing heart rate bills that, or even just abortion in general being illegal. That's amazing, and that is the right direction. But I think that whether you are someone who is pro-abortion or pro-choice, you should be able to get behind this bill. So in this video, I'm going to talk to you about the details inside this, as well as the objection I came across, because I try to look at both sides of everything, and then why, again, this is just so needed. So let's talk about this. There's two findings that this bill comes across at the beginning of it before it gets into the law. If an abortion results in a live birth of the infant is a legal person for all purposes under the laws of the United States. You guys, this is a basic human rights bill. These babies are alive. No matter what you think about the New York law that just passed, these are children that are born alive. They require protection. Even the most extreme abortionist should be able to get behind this fact. 2, any infant born alive has the same claim to the protection of the law that would arise for any newborn or any person who comes to a hospital, clinic, or other facility for screening or treatment. Okay, this baby is now a patient. It doesn't matter that it's a botched abortion. This baby is now a patient and should be treated as such under the laws of the United States. So, there's two requirements that come from this bill. One, that in the case of a botched abortion, that the healthcare provider must exercise the same degree of professional skill, care, and diligence to preserve the life and health of the child as they would any other child born alive at the same gestational age. And 2, that they should immediately transport this child to the hospital. Now, I'm going to get back to that fact here in a minute, because that was the objection that I found from actually New York Democratic Senator Nadler, and I want to address why that's so important right now. There's also a mandatory reporting aspect to this bill, which if you guys have looked at Abby Johnson at all lately and her video Unplanned that's coming out, her movie that's coming out Unplanned, and if you've listened to any of the talks, which I will pin as much information about all this stuff as I can down below, you guys, so check out the description, you know that women in Planned Parenthood feel very trapped. They may want to leave, but Planned Parenthood specifically has a really terrible practice of land-basting these workers who leave their company, and even if they make employee of the month or employee of the year the month before, suddenly they are the absolute worst, most incompetent employee they've ever had. And so a lot of women are worried about leaving Planned Parenthood even if they want to, because they need to support their family. Maybe they're a single mother themselves and this is the only income they have, and they're so worried about getting another job. I will put, this is truth, you guys, I will put this down below. This is an actual practice of Planned Parenthood, and I really hope that everybody out there goes and sees the movie Unplanned that opens in March, because we need to understand the realities behind the abortion business. But getting back to this bill, there's mandatory reporting. Failure of either to take care of the child or to not mandatory report when someone you see is not taking care of the child properly could be fined or imprisoned for not more than 5 years, or both. So there are consequences now for not reporting, which I think is amazing. Now again, I totally understand that these women are possibly being coerced into staying at Planned Parenthood, and this puts them in a very tricky situation, but we have to stand up for human life no matter what the consequences are. Now, if there is an intentional killing of a child born alive, it says whoever intentionally performs or attempts to perform an overt act that kills a child born alive shall be punished under section 1111 of this title for intentionally killing or attempting to kill a human being. Now, I looked that up. That's the code for murder. So it's defined as murder if you take a child after it's born and physically do something to it to kill it. So again, I know people are going to out there saying, when does this ever happen? But unfortunately, it does happen. And if you think it never happens, there's no harm in passing this bill. If you know for certain that it does happen, we need this bill more than ever. It then goes on to talk about how the mother isn't culpable if her child's born, how she can bring civil action as well as the criminal action against a doctor who kills her baby. And that's the majority of the bill. So let's go back to the whole hospital transportation argument, and let's talk about a little bit of what Democrat Nadler had to say about that. So back in January 19, 2018, that's when it passed the House. He was commenting on why he couldn't get behind this bill. And he said two things. He said that he didn't like the idea of mandatory transportation because perhaps there are situations where it would be more harmful to the child to transport it than to leave it in the clinic. Now, he is looking at the whole abortion industry. Again, this is a botched abortion. So someone was trying to kill this baby in the first place. He's assuming way too much of rosy-colored glasses that these physicians, or now in New York, almost anybody who tries to perform abortion is going to be looking after the interests of the child. They were about to kill the child anyway, up to 40 weeks in New York. So why in the world are they, when it fails, going to necessarily do the right thing? And there's evidence that we know that they don't do the right thing. There was a story of a worker in a Planned Parenthood where the child was born and she was told to go place a child in the closet, close the door, and let the child die, I guess of starvation, and not check on it until morning. This is actually things that happen, and it's chilling. It literally gives me goosebumps. But we can't trust that doctors, doctors, physicians, or nurses are going to always do the right thing by these children. And so, yes, we do need a law that's heavy-handed, that's going to require taking them to a facility who has to take care of that child. The second thing is he was saying, there's no reason for this. This never happens. But we just have the testimony of Governor Northam literally saying the following. And it's done in cases where there may be severe deformities. There may be a fetus that's not viable. So in this particular example, if a mother is in labor, I can tell you exactly what would happen. The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that is what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mother. Are you kidding me? This is literally talking about resuscitating the child if that's what they want to do. Otherwise, we're talking about infanticide, a child being left to die. And then it's very, very vague in terms of what the mother and family want to do. And we know that the Virginia lawmaker who proposed this bill would not answer in front of Congress what she meant in terms of where this bill was going, in terms of where the limits were. So, you guys, we need to pass this bill. I want to thank Father Frank for putting this on his Instagram. I literally was just scrolling through Instagram this morning, not really sure what I was going to do because I missed a conference I was supposed to go to. And all of a sudden I came across his call to action and I'm like, yes, I need to make this video. In this country, we need to protect human life from conception all the way through natural death. But I think, like I said earlier, we can all agree on the fact that once a child is born, who is breathing oxygen, who is separated from the mother, we need to protect that life. That is just a basic, hands down, something we should all be able to get behind. Our laws, yes, are meant to put morality into law. That's why we don't allow murder. That's why we don't allow stealing. That's why we don't allow many of the wrongs that you and I take for granted as we go through this life that we're protected against. Let's protect the children, the innocent. And so again, I plead for you, contact your senator today. Don't wait till Monday, it'll be too late. Let's flood their inboxes. Let's rack up their phone voicemails or whatever happens when you call a senator, and let's make our voices heard. So guys, if you like videos like this, please let me know down in the comments if you have any questions. I'm happy to make more videos from a legal perspective. I don't mind reading the law, so if you guys want that kind of thing, let me know. And again, just God bless. Let's all pray for the unborn. Let's pray for the mothers whose hearts need to be changed. And let's definitely pray for our lawmakers that they make the right decision when it comes to protecting life, as they are tasked to do when we vote them into office. So God bless. Have a beautiful day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.